Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Boom Beach video. Today I'm going to be trying to defeat Dr. T with all laser rangers. I've been upgrading my critter cannons. I have 1 to level 8, which is halfway. Max level is 16. And then I have 1 to 7 and 1 to 2. So we're going to try to get at least the 1 to 8 done because I'm trying to max it out as fast as possible. So I have to get these upgrades done. They're pretty expensive. They take a day to do, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But today, like I said, we're going to be attacking Dr. T with all laser rangers. I don't really know the best hero to bring. I'm assuming something like Bullet Energy Drink will end up being the best hero. Or maybe Dr. Gavon's second win to get some riflemen out in front of my laser rangers, but we'll see once we get up farther. I do want to talk about something today that has been a very heated topic in the Boom Beach community recently, and that is the new update and probably the biggest change, the suspected server split between the world and China. So it seems like a lot of Chinese players are playing on a different server than the US one, and that is probably the main reason why the Chinese leaderboard and these Chinese players at the top are dropping so fast. They don't have critter cannons placed because they're on a different game. That's a pretty obvious tell, because critter cannons, in my opinion, are one of the best defenses, and I would assume these leaderboard players would drop a couple $100, max them all out immediately. But as you can see, none of these players have the critter cannons placed, and it really seems like they're on a different game. And then also there's some other things that are very fishy about it as well that kind of lead to it. If we look at a US player farther down, we can see he has all of the 4 critter launchers. So, you know, it sucks. I don't really know what to think about it. What I do know, though, is I'm getting attacked a lot less, which I like. I mean, I got attacked, viewed once that day, attacked once this day. I got attacked earlier today once, versus before, you know, we had another probably 30 to 40% of the player base attacking. This obviously has some pretty serious implications, and some other people on YouTube have already talked about it, but I think the big implications are, one, you're going to be getting attacked by a lot fewer people, unless they do something to the matchmaking system that somehow you get paired up with the same amount of people. It just, to me, it seems like, I mean, I'm not getting attacked by a lot of people, so I'm not really sure what to think there. But I think another big implication is the warships, because warships is a whole separate mini game, and you get paired up with players. Paired up with players in real time. So if we're losing 30% of the player base that plays warships, or I'm just making up that number, that's just kind of a random number I pulled off the top of my head. If we're losing that many players, the wait times are obviously gonna rocket up. They're gonna shoot up. Some of the top players in Boom Beach are from China, so it's going to be incredibly hard to play warships. And I've seen some posts on Reddit already talking about how it's taking like 30 seconds to find a match, which is crazy. I think the Chinese players were able to lower that count. Now, the question is kind of why did this all happen? I think that's a question that's going through the community. Also, Boom Beach or Supercell has not confirmed nor denied any of this, I don't think, at this moment. And it kind of seems like it's also happening in other Supercell games as well. It's not just Boom Beach. So I suspect it's kind of a permanent thing. But again, the question is why? Why is this happening now? Why is this? Why does Supercell need to do this? Obviously, I think this hurts the bottom line. I probably shouldn't say obviously, because it's not quite obvious. But if they're separating the player bases. I don't know if that means that players in China will have less reason to drop thousands of dollars on the game to get to global #1, because their #1 is going to be different from the rest of the world. So I kind of feel like some players might lose interest in that. I think probably the main reason is more just like Chinese laws around data collection and online gaming. I remember like last year, or maybe it was a few years ago, China had put in a bunch of or they were passing a bunch of laws regarding this whole thing, and I think it finally had, like, the date has passed that it was forced to be instated. So I think that's kind of why we're seeing this now. I just think it was time that it happened, and that, like, Supercell didn't really have anything to do with it. I really believe that it's from the Chinese government that this whole thing happened. If you are, though, watching this video, we have a huge following. If you are from China, I would love for people to, like, confirm some of this stuff, because I think a lot of people still don't really understand what's happening, including me. This is just kind of rumors I've heard, and just from, like, the Reddit and also our Discord server. So let me know below if you have found this to be true, and let me know below if I'm missing or if I'm saying some information that's not quite right. But here we go. We beat stage 7 with all laser rangers. I honestly was not expecting that. These are level 3. They're not even close to being maxed out. I don't know how I feel about them. I mean, they're obviously a good troop. You can't really bring 8 boats of 1 troop and beat stage 7. Stage 7 is always pretty tough. So I don't really know what to think. It seems like it's working pretty well, though. Just how fast we beat Dr. T. I mean, it's going pretty well. So we're going to keep on this train. We'll try to defeat a few player bases, try to get a little bit of loot under our belt. This is obviously where the big test comes in. How will we do versus some real player bases? I think mines will be a major issue here. I think, yeah, I mean, I'm getting slaughtered. But the troop health of these little guys it's so low. It's so low. We're absolutely getting slaughtered right now because I have no tanking troop in front of my troops, and that's a really big issue. So we're gonna retreat. We're gonna try this again, and I'm gonna bring a tanking troop. This is kind of me starting to learn how this troop works. I haven't seen any videos regarding this troop at all, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best combination to bring with this troop. I have some ideas, but we'll have to experiment more to see what is actually the best troop. So we're gonna rock with the heavy laser ranger combination. I think this combination will do pretty well, just because the way I'm using my heavies is very similar to bombardiers, and I think kind of the same thing will apply, where we'll just be able to walk through the base. We'll have a good tanking troop in front of my troops. Yeah, I mean, you can see the amount of damage these laser rangers are dealing. It's insane. Some people were saying that they weren't a huge fan of this troop because it kind of seems like it's taking away from grenadiers, and I understand where you're coming from there, because grenadiers are the only other troop that deals or that kind of hits behind the first line of defenses, like deals damage. Really the only significant troop. I mean, Scorchers do very minimally, and then Cryoneers deal no damage or very little damage. So that worked really well, by the way. So I think it's kind of taking a little bit away from the Grenadiers. Do Grenadiers need a buff? I kind of think so. I think Bombardiers, there's not really a major reason to bring Grenadiers. However, one thing that the Grenadiers do that this troop does not do is take down mines. You'll see that the Laser Ranger beams do not take down mines, which is definitely a significant thing for the Laser Rangers. And if they did take down mines, I think they would be even more overpowered than they already are. I think they are a very good troop. Again, I haven't used them too much. I've used them on a few little battles, but it does seem like they're sort of keeping up with the heavy bombardier combination, which also would walk through this base. I think the heavy bombardier combination, though, is it's probably stronger at a higher level. I mean, there is one building health statue, but I would assume that as the building health increases, that these troops kind of become worse, just because you need a troop that deals a high amount of damage. At the end of the day, that's the goal. And if you don't have a troop that deals a high amount of damage, it might be good at a low level, but as soon as you come up against someone who has a lot of health statues, you're gonna get kind of probably stuck on the beach. So that was a lot of loot. 500,000 stone. Stone is the main loot that we're looking for. I really do have enough of the other loots, but stone is kind of the main one we're looking for. So I'm just going to drop a bunch of barrages. Laser Rangers, I said this earlier, are incredibly weak. Incredibly weak. They die super, super fast if left exposed to the elements. So it's very important we try to keep them alive as long as possible. And part of that is taking down mines. 2 mines can kill a Laser Ranger, and they clump up so much because there's 64 of them. You really do want to take down the mines, or you're going to get slaughtered by a bunch of mines. There goes a level 71. This is a good combination. I'm really enjoying this combination. I definitely have to experiment more with the Laser Ranger plus heavy combination. But here we go. Level 9. Let's go. Perfect. Looking beefy. And then I'll only have 7 more levels to go. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to try to upgrade this one, or a lower or more cheaper one, a lower leveled one, and we'll see where we go from there. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Again, if you are from the Chinese community, definitely comment down below. Let me know what is happening. Give us more insight, and maybe we can try to figure something out. Obviously, like, Supercell might have their hands tied and not be able to do anything. It is a little weird, though, because Supercell, the majority of Supercell is owned by Tencent? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a Chinese gaming company, so it's a little weird that these restrictions are being placed, and I think it's probably coming from the Chinese government. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys.